Mario Circuit. Okay, so this is a pretty interesting trend in Mario Kart, where the initial starter track is not named after Mario, but someone else. In this case, it's Luigi, but now we're finally at Mario Circuit with this probably reused model of Luigi's hat from Luigi Circuit, with all of the gravel included. But this time it's sponsored by Mario Star, which is cool. Also, these trees, so weird looking. Such an odd look. I like it. I like the sort of striped look. But it does look like it would be a delicious frozen treat. Also, the 2D effect also applies to what I can only imagine are piranha plants, though it's kind of weird to tell. This track is really interesting, and I like it a lot. First of all, the spinning Go Mario, love it. Love that old art of Mario. Also, love this random chain link fence that's here for like a second, and then it's just like not in it at all anymore until right over here. I love that it's here. Also, it's interesting, they didn't model a bunch of this stuff, which makes a lot of sense because you're never going to see it. But you're also never going to see some of this stuff, and they did model it. So it's kind of interesting what they chose to and to not model, which is an interesting trend in this game. Going forward, going backwards, I guess, we have Koopa Air, we have Yoshi Yoshi, we have this huge big field here that I always loved to kind of like hang out in. We also have this big mushroom over here, which is kind of fun to see from all these different angles and sides. One thing I think is really interesting, if you look here, the ground is actually level with the grass over here, besides the fact that this isn't modeled, which is interesting because I feel like they wouldn't have had to do that. That feels like an odd amount of detail to put into something like this. A little bit of continuity, I suppose. Then you have the sand, you have a second Go Mario sign, which I really, really like, and then Mario Star, this big turn with some sand here for some reason, and then also, this ground is actually not level with the ground over here for some reason, which makes it weirder that it is the case over here. But we're ending it off with the pipe of mysteries and dreams. This is a very interesting model, particularly because from the angle you see it at, you can't really notice the lip a lot of the time in game, but here there's clearly a lip, so it's clearly like a warp pipe. Also, this dotted texture is super bizarre. It makes me wonder, did the developers, is this an attempt to recreate the pixel look of the NES Mario games? Or do the developers genuinely think that like pipes in Mario have this weird like rustness to them? I mean, I kind of like it. It makes it look like kind of a pickle, but it is quite odd. And then of course, Diddy Kong's clothing company is sponsoring this track. But yeah, this track is one of my favorites of this cup. I really do like it. I don't like it quite as much as the snow track in this cup, but it's an interesting layout. There's some interesting set pieces, and I just think it's pretty dang cool.